The Real Cost of Overthinking, Ultra Expanded Edition. Overthinking is not just a bad habit, it's a silent, invisible force that slowly takes control of your life. It creeps in quietly, disguising itself as being careful, being responsible, or thinking things through. But behind that mask lies something much darker, a paralysis of the mind. Overthinking drains you in ways you don't even notice at first. At the end of the day, you feel exhausted, not because you lived, but because you thought too much. Your brain keeps running, even when your body wants to rest. You replay conversations, decisions, mistakes, possibilities, imaginary problems, worst-case scenarios. It's like carrying a backpack filled with thoughts that don't belong to you. Heavy, unnecessary, suffocating. Overthinking creates hesitation. Hesitation creates fear. Fear creates inaction. And inaction slowly destroys the person you could have become. You start worrying about outcomes before you even take the first step. You analyze so much that your confidence breaks under the weight of your own thinking. Your mind becomes a battlefield where you fight an enemy that doesn't exist, except inside your head. You delay opportunities. You silence your instincts. You weaken your courage. Bit by bit, overthinking convinces you that the world is dangerous, that you're not ready, that something terrible might happen. The irony? Nothing is happening. The danger is imaginary, but the consequences are real. Every moment spent overthinking is a moment not spent living. You lose precious time. You lose momentum. You lose chances that will never return. Think about how many times you said, "I'll start tomorrow. I need to plan a little more. I'm not ready yet. What if I mess up?" Each of those thoughts sounded reasonable. Each of them felt logical, but each one quietly stole a piece of your future. Overthinking shrinks your world. Instead of moving freely, you start tiptoeing through life, afraid to make the wrong step. You stop trusting yourself. You stop trusting your instincts. You stop trusting the natural ability of humans to learn through action. Action is how we grow. Movement is how we evolve. Life rewards those who step forward, not those who analyze forever. Overthinking is like revving the engine while the car is still in park. You burn fuel but go nowhere. And the cruelest part? The longer you stay trapped in your mind, the harder it becomes to escape. Your thoughts start looping, tightening, becoming louder. You begin to confuse thinking with progress, even though progress only happens through doing. But here's the truth Samurai understood. The mind becomes clear not when you think more, but when you move more. The moment you stop trying to control every outcome. The moment you stop trying to predict every detail. The moment you let go of the imaginary battles in your head. Everything becomes lighter. You don't need perfect certainty. You don't need the right feeling. You don't need the best conditions. You need action. You need flow. You need presence. Overthinking is the cost of a life not lived. Flow is the reward of a life finally claimed. Why overthinking blocks? Your natural flow. Expanded version. Your mind was never designed to be a cage. It was designed to guide you, to sense danger, to make quick decisions, to help you move through life with presence and instinct. But when thoughts pile up without pause, they don't guide you. They choke your natural rhythm. Overthinking is like pouring sand into a perfectly working engine. Everything slows down. Everything becomes heavier. The machine still works, but with friction, resistance, and unnecessary struggle. Humans are built for flow, for that effortless state where action feels natural, where movement feels intuitive, where decisions arise instantly from clarity, not from stress. But flow can only exist when the mind is aligned with the moment. When thoughts overflow, you disconnect from the now. You stop feeling, you stop sensing, you stop responding. You move from instinct to analysis, from clarity to confusion, from presence to paralysis. Overthinking splits you into two versions of yourself, one who wants to act and one who keeps questioning, doubting, predicting, planning, worrying. These two versions start pulling in opposite directions. Instead of moving forward, you become stuck in an internal tug of war. Action becomes forced because your mind is resisting every step. Movements become awkward because you are no longer acting from intuition, but from fear. Progress becomes slow because you constantly check, revise, recheck, and hesitate. You start living in your head instead of living in reality. Overthinking makes you rehearse life instead of experiencing it. Athletes feel this, artists feel this, entrepreneurs feel this. Even samurai felt this centuries ago. Whenever the mind becomes too loud, the body shuts down. Whenever the mind tries to control everything, your natural intelligence, the deep, instinctive wisdom inside you, goes silent. Flow and overthinking cannot exist together. Flow requires trust. Overthinking is built on mistrust. Flow requires presence. Overthinking drags you into the past and pushes you into the future. Flow requires movement. Overthinking keeps you frozen. Your best work, your best ideas, your best performance, they all appear when you stop thinking and start being. That's why overthinking blocks your natural flow. It creates noise in a place that was meant for silence. It creates tension in a system meant for movement. It creates fear in a mind designed for clarity. The more you think, the more resistance you create. The more resistance, the less flow. And the less flow, the more life feels like a struggle instead of a dance. But when you let the mind quiet down, when you trust your instincts, when you stop questioning every action, you begin to reconnect with the present moment, the only place where true flow exists. What the samurai understood about effortless performance. Expanded version. Samurai didn't seek a mind full of thoughts. They sought a mind free from interference. A silent mind wasn't an empty mind. It was a focused mind, a calm mind, a mind that moved in harmony with the body instead of arguing with it. They understood something modern people often forget. Overthinking is a luxury you cannot afford in the moment of action. A sword swing hesitated is a sword swing lost. A delayed decision could cost a life. A clouded mind could not protect you, guide you, or give you strength. So the samurai trained to enter a state where thought and action became one. Not emotionless, they still felt fear, excitement, intensity, but undistracted, centered, awake, fully present. They knew that the mind's natural intelligence only emerges when unnecessary thoughts fall away. This state was called Ku no Sekai, the world of emptiness, but not the emptiness of nothingness. It was the emptiness of clarity, the emptiness of fearless action, the emptiness that allows instinct, training, and intuition to rise without interruption. In Ku no Sekai, movement flows without hesitation. Decisions appear instantly, the body reacts before the mind interferes. Awareness expands, while the ego dissolves. Time seems slower, sharper, more precise. Every action feels effortless, almost inevitable. Samurai believed that true mastery begins the moment the mind becomes quiet. Not numb, not blank, but free from the noise that weakens performance. To them, The greatest enemy was not the warrior standing in front of them, but the thoughts swirling inside their own head. That's why their training wasn't only physical, it was deeply mental. Hours of meditation, breathing, stillness, observation, repetition, all designed to tame the inner chaos, to sharpen awareness, to dissolve hesitation. They learned to trust their preparation, to trust their instincts, to trust the silent wisdom of the body, because when the moment came, thinking wasn't fast enough, only presence was. Kuno Sekai is the space where mastery happens by itself, where the warrior moves without force, where effort becomes ease, where action becomes art, where you stop trying and start being. This is the very essence of effortless performance. The mind steps aside so instinct can step forward, and the samurai knew this is where the highest version of yourself lives. Modern science confirms the power of a quiet mind, ultra-expanded continuation. Today's world praises constant thinking, constant planning, constant grinding. But the brain doesn't perform best under pressure. It performs best under clarity. Neuroscientists discovered something extraordinary. When you enter flow, your brain doesn't just quiet down, it becomes more synchronized. Different regions of the brain begin to work together like a perfectly trained orchestra. No confusion, no noise, no wasted energy, just pure, efficient performance. This synchronization increases precision, creativity, pattern recognition, emotional control, physical accuracy, problem-solving speed. It's the mental equivalent of a samurai drawing his sword with absolute calm. Even more fascinating, during flow, the brain releases powerful neurochemicals. Dopamine, motivation and clarity, norepinephrine, alertness and focus, anandamide, creativity and lateral thinking, endorphins, reduced pain, more endurance, serotonin, calm confidence. These chemicals don't just help you perform better, they make the state of flow feel rewarding, energizing, and almost addictive. This is why athletes call it the zone. It's why artists lose track of time. It's why entrepreneurs work for hours without noticing fatigue. A quiet mind isn't empty, it's optimized. In fact, too many thoughts create neural interference. Signals in the brain start overlapping, slowing each other down. It's like trying to listen to music while 10 other radios are playing in the background. But when unnecessary mental activity shuts down, your brain functions with the efficiency of a laser. And science has measured this. People in flow can be up to 5 times more productive, 6 times more focused, 430%, more creative 3 times faster in decision-making, not by thinking harder, but by thinking less. A quiet mind unlocks your highest potential. A noisy mind hides it. This is exactly what ancient warriors already understood centuries ago. They didn't need an fMRI machine to know that clarity beats clutter. They learned through combat, through discipline, through stillness. The samurai's Kuno Sekai and the modern flow state are the same doorway to human greatness. Science now confirms what they lived by. When your mind becomes silent, your true power finally speaks. The true meaning of Kuno Sekai. Expanded edition. Kuno Sekai isn't mysticism. It isn't magic. It isn't some spiritual fog that only monks can reach. Kuno Sekai is a practical art, the art of acting without the weight of overthinking, the art of letting your instincts breathe, the art of moving through life with precision, clarity, and calm. It's choosing flow over force, presence over pressure, action over hesitation. To live in Kuno Sekai is to act with full awareness, yet without being chained to the outcome. You give your best, but you do not cling, grip, or obsess. You're fully present in the moment, but you're not drowning in doubt or fear. You're awake, alert, receptive, yet internally free. Kuno Sekai is the state where thoughts arise but don't distract you, emotions appear but don't control you, challenges come but don't shake you, fear exists but doesn't stop you. It's clarity in motion, a quiet mind moving a powerful body, a clear heart guiding sharp action. In Kuno Sekai, you stop fighting yourself. Your inner world aligns. Your actions become smoother, sharper, and more natural. Life stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a flow. This is not passive. This is not weakness. This is controlled power. Power without tension, strength without chaos, discipline without pressure. Kuno Sekai is the mastery of the present moment. It's trusting yourself enough to let go. It's giving up the illusion of total control and gaining the ability to act with total clarity. When you embrace Kuno Sekai, you stop forcing your life into a perfect shape. You stop waiting for certainty before starting. You stop drowning in endless what-ifs. Instead, you move forward, calm, focused, unshaken. This is what the samurai knew. This is what modern neuroscience confirms. This is what every great performer, athlete, creator, and warrior experiences when they are at their peak. Kuno Sekai is not emptiness. It is spaciousness, space inside you where fear cannot echo, where doubt cannot multiply, where clarity can breathe. It is the state where you meet your highest self, not by thinking, but by doing, not by forcing, but by flowing. This is the true meaning of Kuno Sekai, the art of moving through life with a quiet mind and unstoppable presence. How to apply this principle in your daily life. Expanded Edition, English. Kuno Sekai doesn't begin in a temple, on a mountaintop, or in silence far away from the world. It begins right here, in the way you work, move, react, decide, and show up in your ordinary day. You don't need to change your entire life to apply this principle. You only need to change how you enter action. 1. Shift from thinking to doing. Every time you feel yourself slipping into overthinking, pause. You don't have to continue the inner dialogue. You don't have to finish the mental debate. Take one small action instead. One step, one message, one call, one file opened, one task started. Action breaks mental loops faster than motivation or discipline ever could. You don't wait for the perfect mood. You don't wait for clarity. You don't wait to feel ready. You simply begin. 2. Break the cycle of mental loops. When your thoughts start spinning in circles, notice it. Catch the moment. Tell yourself, I've already thought about this. Now I act. You can break the cycle through a slow breath, a short walk shifting your focus, a 10-second micro-action. The moment you move, your mind stops spiraling. 3. Enter flow through simplicity. Complexity kills flow. Too many choices paralyze. Too many tasks overwhelm. Simplify. Choose one goal, one action, one priority, one small step. Flow is not created by doing more. Flow is created by removing what doesn't matter. When you do less, but do it deeply, your effectiveness skyrockets. 4. Use focus as a doorway to presence. You can't enter flow if your mind jumps from thought to thought. But you don't need a long meditation session. You only need 30 seconds. 30 seconds to breathe, observe, soften your attention. Feel your body return to the present moment. This is the switch from noise to clarity. 5. Trust your instincts instead of chasing perfection. Most people wait until they feel ready. But readiness comes after action, not before it. Trust your skills, your practice, your intuition, your inner intelligence. You know more than you think. You're capable of more than you believe. 6. Use Kuno Sekai to move calmer. Before every action, ask yourself, am I doing this from tension or from clarity? If it's tension, loosen. If it's clarity, proceed. Move smoothly. Don't force. Don't rush. Don't push. Flow doesn't come from pressure. It comes from steady, intentional movement. 7. Live with intention, not internal noise. Life throws thousands of distractions at you every day, but only you decide what enters your mind, what you ignore, where your energy goes. Choose awareness over noise. Choose clarity over chaos. Choose direction over confusion. Kuno Sekai is living with a quiet inner world, not lost in your thoughts, but grounded in reality. This isn't philosophy. It's a skill, a training, a way of operating. When you practice this daily, work becomes easier, decisions faster, focus stronger. Your body relaxes, your mind sharpens, your life deepens. No Sekai isn't emptiness. It is inner spaciousness, the space where your true strength lives.